Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 1972 NFL playoffs in Momentum Football. Tonight we are live at Cinergy Field in Cincinnati, Ohio for our last wildcard game, this one in the AFC. The Denver Broncos, as the 5 seed, are on their way to play the Cincinnati Bengals, the 4 seed. Philip Anderson, first to join us here at Cinergy Field. Yes, they were a pair of great games yesterday and today, and we should have another great one tonight. Once again, refreshing our memories on the playoff picture. In yesterday's game, the Oakland Raiders won that one over the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 35-17. They are headed to Miami to play the Dolphins. Of course, our attention turns to the 4-5 matchup in the AFC, the aforementioned Bengals and the Broncos. Winner of that one goes into Pittsburgh to play against the Steelers. Whereas in the NFC, our divisional round games are set. The Minnesota Vikings held on to beat the San Francisco 49ers to lead off the wild card round, and they are going to play the Washington Redskins in the divisional playoff game. As for this morning's game, the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Detroit Lions by a final score of 34-20. Dallas will be at Lambeau Field taking on the Green Bay Packers in the divisional playoff round. But, of course, our attention turns now to finishing up the wild card round in the AFC. So who will advance to play the Steelers? What say we find out, and we'll go to the same place we always do. That would be the coin toss, ladies and gentlemen. Bengals, Broncos, decision die. Odds, the winning team will defer. Evens, the winning team will receive. That coin toss will be won by Denver, and Denver will receive the opening kickoff. And if we are all set here at Cinergy Field, what say we get right into it with the opening kickoff? Denver can return a kickoff for a touchdown, but they need an 11 on red and white and then a 46 on blue and yellow. So the Bengals will line up for the opening kickoff, and the ball goes deep, and here we go. Broncos will not return that for a touchdown, but they will get the ball to start the first quarter. Let's see what the Broncos can do with this one. We will be ticking 8 time off the clock. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 will be coming off of Cincinnati's defense, and a 26. And Cincinnati's defense, still a 26. Still the Broncos will have to punt that one away. The Broncos can have a punt blocked, but but Cincinnati needs an 11 on red and white, and then a 44 and under on blue and yellow. That's a 15, so the Bengals came with pressure, but the Broncos managed to pick everybody up, and there will be no block on the play. And we are underway here at Cinergy Field. As for one of these teams, the road to Super Bowl VII ends here. The Bengals get their first drive of the first quarter. That will be 6 time coming off the clock for the Bengals. 6 is coming off of Cincinnati's offense. 51 will be a field goal attempt. Here will come Horst Mohlman to try to give the Bengals the early lead. He needs an 11 to 46 to make the kick. Wow, that was a close one, but kick is up. It's got the distance, just barely. Kick is good. 25 and 17 is a 42-yard kick. And the Bengals will jump out to an early 3-0 lead. Sea of orange and black here at Cinergy Field. Denver back to receive the opening kickoff. Let's see what they can do as Mohlman gets ready to boot that one deep, and here it goes. That will be no return. As for the Broncos' second drive of the first quarter, that is a good start for the Bengals, but a 3-0 lead, as we've seen several times, is far from the be-all, end-all in this game. Let's see what the Broncos can do with this one. They will be taking 6 time off the clock. 7 is coming off the team with momentum, which right now, that is Cincinnati. 51 on Cincinnati's defense, just at the top of the range, but the Bengals will have to punt that one away. Or the Broncos will have to punt that one away, I should say. We'll have 2 rolls. First for the Broncos, 11, and then a 44 for the Broncos. On the block, punt will not be blocked. Bengals can return a punt for a touchdown, but they need an 11 to 12, and then a 41 and under on blue and yellow on a 12. Which a 51 is very much not, so no block, no return. Score remains 3-0 in favor of the Bengals, as we are at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. Bengals with the ball and driving. Here's the drive. Taking another 8 time off the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is coming. Actually, 10 is coming off of Cincinnati's offense, but a 24. The Bengals are going to have to punt that one away. Here will come Dave Lewis. No chance of a block, though. And the Broncos come out for their third drive of the first quarter. Broncos looking to jump back into this one. Very much anybody's game this early in the first quarter. Actually, 5:20 to play in the first. They'll be ticking 7 time off the clock. 2 is coming off of Cincinnati's defense, but a 62 is going to be a field goal attempt, and the Broncos are going to try to tie this game with Jim Turner. He needs an 11 to 51 on red and white. Let's see what the Broncos can do with the kick. The Broncos are in formation. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. Kick is up, and it is good, and we've got a tie game. Let's see, 6, 12, and 17 is a 29-yard kick. Jim Turner splits the uprights, and we've got ourselves a tie game, 3-all. And my neighbor's at it again. Bengals, of course, can't return a kick for a touchdown, so we'll mark off the time for that. Bengals with their third drive of the first quarter. They'll be taking another 7 time off the clock. A 9 is coming off Denver's offense, but a 21. That's going to be a quarterback sack, and the Broncos' drive is going to stall. Actually, the Bengals' drive is going to stall. A 2-yard loss only. Bengals can't have a punt blocked, but the Broncos can return a punt for a touchdown. 11 to 12, and then a 24 and under on blue and yellow. That's a 21, so no block, no return. And this drive should take us into the second quarter. Unless somehow it's an all-ones drive, which is possible, but not likely. And that will just barely take us into the second quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. After 1, we are all knotted up at a field goal apiece. Right, 6 is coming off of Cincinnati's defense, and a 12. That's going to be a fumble, and the Broncos are going to put that one on the ground. Cincinnati can't return a fumble for a touchdown to the relief of the Broncos, but a 62. Lamar Parrish will fall on that one for the Bengals. Stadium cheers. Yay! Here come the Bengals for their first drive of the second quarter. All knotted at 3 early in the second. 14 minutes to play in the second. Bengals with the drive, and here they go. That'll be taking 7 time off the clock. 2 is coming off Denver's defense, but a 63. That's going to be a touchdown pass, and the Bengals are going to take the lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Score is now 9 to 3, pending the extra point. 65 will be Bruce Coslett taking that in from 8 yards out. Molman coming out to try to add the extra point. He needs an 11 to 65, so not quite automatic. That's a 12, though. That's almost as automatic as you can get. The extra point is up, and it is good. And the Bengals now will open up a 10-3 lead here at Cinergy Field. Stadium cheers. Yay! Denver looking for the kickoff after that. Let's see what the Broncos can do here. No, they won't be returning that one. No kick return. So the Broncos will tick off the time, and we'll get the next drive for the Broncos. Let's see what they can do here. Ticking off another 6 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 is coming off Cincinnati's defense with the 43. The Broncos are going to have to punt that one away. We'll see if the Bengals can block this one. As here comes Billy Van Heusen out for the Broncos. 24 will definitely not be blocked. Bengals now with a chance to extend this lead. As we've seen, a 1-touchdown lead is far from safe in momentum football. Let's see what the Bengals can do with this next drive. They will tick another 7 time off the clock. Down to 7 minutes to play in the quarter. 8 coming off of Cincinnati's offense. 61. That's going to be a touchdown run, and the Bengals are going to extend the lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! .62 will be Ken Anderson sneaking that one in from 4 yards out. Anderson rolling to his left, and the defense just loses containment on him. Score is now 16-7, pending the extra point. Here will come Molman with the extra point. That's a 54. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Bengals now pick up some breathing room as they take a 17-3 lead. Denver lining up for the kickoff. Let's see what they can do with this one. Bengals will swarm the Broncos on coverage. Broncos need to get something going here. This definitely will not send them to Pittsburgh. Broncos have the ball. And let's see what the Broncos do with this drive. Broncos will take 6 time off the clock. 4 is coming off of Cincinnati's defense, and a 55 is going to be a field goal attempt, and the Broncos are going to send Turner out again to try to cut into this lead. Again, he's an 11-51. Doug Hunt is next to join us here at Cinergy Field. Yes, I know I've been a little bit slippery to catch lately. I wouldn't be so sure about that, Philip. The Bengals, assuming they win this game, the Bengals still have to go into Three Rivers Stadium and the Steel Curtain in Pittsburgh. That is a tough ask for anybody. And remember, the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC goes through Three Rivers Stadium. Thanks to a tiebreaker, but still. Let's see what happens with the kick for the Broncos. That's a 22. Kick is up, and it is good. 4, 7, and 17 is a 24-yard kick. And the Broncos need to take bigger bites out of this lead, but the Bengals still lead this one 17-6. Cincinnati will mark off time for the kickoff since they can't return a kickoff for a touchdown. Bengals looking for the drive. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the game between the Cowboys and the Lions from earlier this morning. I know it was a weird time to go live, but that was because I was doing an entree for Mystical Munchies this week. That's why that game went up as early as it did today. Bengals with the drive, and here's the drive. Oop, get in the tower. There we go. That'll be another 7 time coming off the clock for the Bengals. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is coming off the team with momentum. That is very much Cincinnati. Their offense with a 43, and that's going to be a key reception. Let's see if the Bengals can keep this drive going. Steelers steel curtain, early years 1972. Still, a very formidable Pittsburgh team waits for the winner of this game. But let's see what the Bengals can do with a key reception. 36 will be Bob Trumpy making that reception. And a 12. He's going to take that all the way in, and that's going to be another Cincinnati touchdown. Stadium going berserk. Yay! Steelers will now open up a 23-6 lead once I get the scoreboard adjusted properly, pending the extra point. But we need to see how long the reception was. That will go in from 7 yards out. Here comes Molman to try to add the extra point. That will split the uprights, and that will be good. And the Bengals now open up a 24-6 lead. Broncos need some serious momentum, need to get something going here. They seem to be just kind of laying over and playing dead at this point. Let's see what the Broncos can do. 35, the kicking team is going to get swarmed, and I've ticked off time for that. As for the drive for the Broncos, we have 7 time remaining in the half. And that's exactly what we're going to have to finish the half for time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 is coming off of Cincinnati's defense. 36, Denver's going to have to punt that one away. Let's see if the Broncos get the punt blocked to finish out the first half. They do not. Punt gets off clean. And at the end of the first half, score is now... This game is pretty much all Cincinnati at this point. Score is now 24-6 in favor of the Bengals. Actually, Cincinnati won this game. I forgot to mention, as I was setting everything up in the intro, the Bengals actually won this game by a final score of 41-21 in Week 4. But with that little factoid aside, I'm going to take my usual small break at halftime. As usual, no NFL ticker at the end of this game. Our next game will be tomorrow night, as we'll be over to the NFC Divisional Playoffs and RFK Stadium, where the Minnesota Vikings are playing the Washington Redskins. Minnesota, of course, the 6th seed, Washington the 1 seed, and the road to the Super Bowl in the NFC goes through RFK Stadium. Redskins, Vikings, tomorrow afternoon. We are now all set for the third quarter of this game. Since Denver elected to receive the opening kickoff, Cincinnati will get the ball first to start the third quarter. We will tick off our time for the kickoff, and the Bengals just need to do more of the same tonight. Broncos need to blow their approach up and start from scratch. They're down by 3 scores. Let's see what the Bengals can do here. They will tick off another 7 time. 7 is coming off the team with momentum. Right now there is no momentum because it gets reset at the half. So it will be coming off the home team, which in this case is Cincinnati's offense. 44 is going to be a field goal attempt, and the Bengals are going to look to extend this lead. Here will come Molman to try to extend it. He's in 11-46. That's an 11. That'll be a chip shot. That'll be up. That'll easily be good. 1, 4, and 17 is a 21-yard kick. And the Bengals will take a 3-touchdown lead by a final score of 27-21. Fans here at Cinergy Field have been loud all night. Let's see what the Broncos can do with the kickoff here. Remember, they need an 11 on red and white, and then a 46 and under on blue and yellow. Which that is very much not. Broncos now with the drive. They need to get something going desperately here. They'll be bounced out of the playoffs very quickly at this rate. That'll be 10 time coming off the clock for the Broncos. A very grindy drive tonight. Down to 8:40 to play. 10 coming off of Denver's offense. 45 is going to be a field goal attempt. The Broncos need to bite off point chunks and a lot bigger than field goals. 11-51 for Turner. He gets the kick away. Kick is up. It looks like it's got the distance, and it will be good. 8, 12, and 17 is a 29-yard kick. Three field goals tonight is not going to do it against the Bengals, folks. Score is now 27-9 in favor of Cincinnati still. If I'm the Broncos, I'm yelling at my offense right now to get me more points. Actually, I'm probably yelling at everybody right now. Yelling at the defense to actually make stops and the special teams to keep the Bengals... Well, the special teams are about the only thing that's going right tonight for the Broncos. But let's see what the Bengals can do with this drive. Yeah. 7 time coming off the clock for the Bengals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 2 is coming off Denver's defense, but a 66. That is going to be a touchdown pass all day long. Stadium cheers. Yay! Score is now 33-9, pending the extra point. But we'll see who scored that one for Cincinnati first. 61 will be... right, touchdown pass. Speedy Thomas making that catch from 3 yards out. Here will come Molman to try to add the extra point. Thomas got through the zone coverage and managed to find his way into the end zone. Bengals trying to restore a 3-touchdown lead. Kick is up, and it is easily good. Score is now 34-9 in favor of the Bengals. Broncos really need to get something going, but it may be a little bit early for this, but the Denver Broncos are running out of time. And that'll be no return. Let's see what the Broncos can do with this one. Not much. 4 time coming off the clock. 3 coming off of Cincinnati's defense. 32. The Broncos will have to punt that one away. And let's see if the Broncos get the punt away clean. They do get the punt away clean. Cincinnati has basically been in complete control of this game from the word go. Cincinnati currently leading by 3 touchdowns plus. Let's see what the Bengals can do with their third drive of the third quarter. They will take another 7 time off the clock with that one. 6 is coming off of Cincinnati's offense. 61. That's going to be a touchdown run, and Cinergy Field has been loud all night, and it shows no signs of stopping here. Score is now 40-9, pending the extra point. Before we get there, though, 43 will be Doug Dressler taking that one in from, we had doubles, 6 times 3, that'll be an 18-yard run. They really lost containment on the fullback there. Here will come Mullman, and the extra point is up, and it is good. And the Bengals now opening up a 41-9 lead on the Broncos. And this is turning into a one-sided drubbing. I would not, spoiler alert folks, I would not expect it to be this one-sided in the next round. Because now we're getting to the teams that are really serious about this. Let's see what the Broncos can do with the kickoff. I'll tick off time. Broncos can't do a thing with it. So let's see what their drive does. This might take us into the fourth quarter, but the way the Broncos are rolling, I'm not betting on it. That'll be 6 time coming off the clock, which will be exactly the last drive of the third quarter. 3 coming off Cincinnati's defense, and at 21, the Broncos are going to have to punt that one away. Let's see if the punt gets blocked. It does not. And after 3, whew, what a drubbing this one's been. Cincinnati leading this one by a score of 41-9. And I think we can officially say now that the Denver Broncos are running out of time. Especially with Cincinnati leading off with the first drive of the fourth quarter. The Bengals have been in control of this one from the word go. Let's see what the Bengals can do with this first drive of the fourth quarter. Taking another 7 time off the clock. 3 coming off of Denver's defense, but a 62 is going to be another touchdown run, and the Bengals just continue to run roughshod over this Broncos team. Score is now 47-9, pending the extra point. 42 will be Doug Dressler taking that one in again. This time he'll take it in from 1 yard. The Broncos can't make a goal line stand, but I have a feeling they're just in complete throw in the towel mode at this point. The Bengals, the extra point is up, and it is good. And the Bengals are just completely dominating this wild card game, as the Bengals now lead by a score of 38-9. Or 48-9, I should say. I can't read tonight. We'll take off time for the Broncos, but I think there's just too much deficit to make up for the Broncos and not enough time. So the Broncos are going to try not to get completely embarrassed here. Ooh, the Broncos almost get that one loose, but no dice. They came close to getting a hold of it, actually. Wait a second. Hold up. Nope, never mind. It's only an 11. So the Broncos can't get a kickoff for a touchdown. Broncos cannot catch a break tonight. They'll tick off another 7 time off the clock. 7 coming off the team with momentum. That would be Cincinnati. 35. The Broncos will have to punt that one away. And the Bengals will not block the punt. Bengals now coming out firing again. Wow. Another 9 time coming off the clock for the Bengals. Right now the Bengals are in total chew up the clock mode. 11 coming off of Cincinnati's offense. 63. That's going to be yet another touchdown run. And Cinergy Field is already starting to look at making plans to travel to Pittsburgh. Score is now 54-9, pending the extra point. I'm not even going to bother with stadium cheers anymore because it's been one big cheer pretty much from the opening kickoff. 31, Dressler again taking that one in from 5 yards out. Doug Dressler is a big part of the reason tonight why the Bengals are pretty much just slapping the Broncos around. Moment to add the extra point. 31, extra point is up, and it is good. And, folks, spoiler alert, this one has not been close at all. 55-9 in favor of the Bengals. The Broncos pretty much came into Cinergy Field tonight to watch their season die. Actually, there's no pretty much about it because that's exactly what's happened tonight. Broncos get a chance at the kickoff, but at this point, it's pretty much a formality. And once again, the Broncos just cannot catch a break on that kickoff. We've already ticked time off for the Broncos for the kickoff. Let's see what the Broncos can do with this next drive. Not a whole lot. 6 time coming off the clock. We're down to 4 minutes to play. 3 coming off of Cincinnati's defense. And a 15 is going to be an interception. And yes, it has been, yes, Doug, to put it mildly, it has been a complete drubbing. Cincinnati, just to make matters worse, can return an interception for a touchdown on an 11-16, but the 16 takes a 32 and under on blue and yellow. And that's a 22, so no interception returned there, but a 65 will be Ken Riley making that interception. Cincinnati looking to pour it on at this point. Let's see what the Bengals can do with this drive. Wow, apparently pour it on. 8 time coming off the clock. 5 coming off of Denver's defense, but a 65. That's going to be another touchdown pass. And the Broncos are just, at this point, it's almost comical at this point. Score is now 62-9, pending the extra point. 26 on a touchdown pass will be Bob Trumpy with his second reception of the game. Taking that one in from 7 yards out. Mullman, well, I Freudian slipped and put it on to 62 already, but it is now 62-9 officially. Extra point is up, and it is good. And the score is indeed 62-9 in favor of the Bengals. Broncos will tick off time for the kickoff. And yeah, yikes is pretty apropos, I would say, Doug. You are not wrong on that regard. But the Broncos will almost get a kick return loose, but the Bengals will swarm it. Already ticked off time for that. I think at this point the Denver Broncos are just begging for mercy at this point, knowing their season is over and all they could muster against this ferocious Cincinnati attack was 3 field goals. That is 8 time coming off the clock for the Broncos. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang! There's the end of the game. And the Cincinnati Bengals, to put it mildly, have the Denver Broncos come into town, and the Bengals just absolutely slap the Broncos around to pick this one up by a final score of 62-9. This one was not close, in case you couldn't guess that. So that was going to be, let's see, it should be 17, right? Let's see, 21, should be 18, wait. Let's see, fourth quarter was 34-9. So it should be 18 points? No. Hold on. I gotta go through some math here. So we came in 34-9 in the fourth. Actually, we came in 41-9 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, it looks like 3 touchdowns. So it should actually have been. Did I miss a field goal in there somewhere? Good on Denver and Kansas City both to make the playoffs, but only one team remains from the AFC West. Indeed, that is Oakland. But Oakland's got a tough ask of their own as they've got to go to Miami and play the Dolphins. And indeed, Doug, it couldn't have come any quicker for the Broncos. I'm just trying to sort out my math here. Because it should be 62-9. Unless I missed a field goal. I did miss a field goal. I missed it in the third quarter. So it should have been, okay, yep. So 23. Okay, so it should have been 65-9, should have been the final score. Still, this was not close. The Orange got crushed. Well, one Orange got crushed, but another Orange, at least if you believe the helmet, is still alive. Just updating my playoff tree. And we are all set with the divisional playoff round. With the Cincinnati Bengals drubbing of the Denver Broncos, they will go to Pittsburgh and play the Steelers at Three Rivers Stadium. In our other matchup, our lone remaining team in the AFC West, the Oakland Raiders, are headed to the Orange Bowl to play the Miami Dolphins. In the NFC, the Green Bay Packers are waiting at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field for the Dallas Cowboys. And first up tomorrow afternoon, we'll have the 1-6 matchup in the NFC playoff, in the NFC divisional playoffs, as the Washington Redskins will take on the Minnesota Vikings, after the Broncos just got crushed tonight, 65-9. Before we get to that point, though, tomorrow, and true indeed, the Cats rule. Tomorrow morning, I'll be looking to go live at about 8 o'clock, probably, with my stream of 5 Parsecs from Home, a new space wargame RPG that I'm going to be debuting on the channel. Wednesday, we're going to be debuting SOE Lysander from Historic Wings. And next week on Saturday, Mystical Munchies will finish out of the official Catan cookbook with the dessert, homemade fudge bricks. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.